All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell, and I'm going to talk real quick about Stephen A. Smith and Colin Kaepernick and all the stuff that's going on. Anyway, let me get this straight. All right, first of all, we need to stop clouding the issue. Okay, stop clouding the issue with all of this other junk about the even when I did my video the other day, and I was talking about the agreement that they wanted him to sign and all of that and everything. All of this stuff is pretense, all right? Meaning it has nothing to do with the real issue. And ladies and gentlemen, the real issue is that the NFL supports police brutality. The NFL supports police brutality. That's all it is. All of this other stuff, they tried to swing it like he's being unpatriotic. And then Stephen A., he tried to swing it like, okay, this man don't want to play. He don't want to do this. He don't want to do. That has nothing to do with it. Oh, if he really wanted a job, then he would just shut up and play and all this kind of stuff. And that plays right into what? It plays right into the slave master's hands. That's all it does. I'm sorry. No matter what the initial motivation was for Kaepernick, people have talked about, he was washed up or whatever, and his motivation for kneeling was X, Y, and Z, and and his all of his reasons for kneeling were not genuine and all this kind of stuff. And I don't agree with all that. It's like, but even if it was, the bottom line is the way that the NFL responded to it is still racist and white supremacist. It's still racist and white supremacist. And there is nothing, look, like I said, they have given rapists, they have given wife beaters, they have given abusers, they have given drug addicts and drug dealers jobs in the NFL. So, if you got talent and you can play in the NFL, and they even do it to spite each other, to be able to spite each other and just like, well, you don't want this guy, so, hey, we'll take him. Look at all the stuff that went on with Antonio Brown. And they still, at the end of the day, somebody gave him a job. That's all I'm trying to say. It ain't got, this collusion thing is bigger than just a job in the NFL. It has a lot more to do than just with, hey, y'all trying to say this or y'all trying to say that. It has nothing to do with anything. This is about police brutality, and that a young black man stood up and protested police brutality, and the fact that the United States of America is not doing anything about it and not trying to do anything about it. The premise behind this is that, look, why should I stand up and salute and be patriotic to a flag that doesn't even consider me to be human? That's the premise behind all of this. It has nothing to do. The NFL has nothing. It really doesn't even have anything to do with Kaepernick, except for that he was the catalyst that started it. But the bottom line is that these people could care less. And they're like, look, our game, the NFL, the game of football, their holier than thou stances, the game of football is more important than people's lives. And even while all of this is going on, people are still dying at the hands of the overseer police. I got one today that happened, one happened a man with no arms and no legs, beaten here in Arizona. It's on my timeline on Facebook. Go check it out. That's what I'm trying to say, y'all. They are condoning police brutality against black men and black women and black children. That's what's going on, and that's what he's protesting. He's not. He doesn't hate the game of football. He doesn't even hate the NFL. He doesn't. All he wants is recognition, and for them to try to start some type of programs just like the NBA did. If y'all recall, that, there were things that went on in the NBA, and then the NBA came through and made what? They made scholarship programs and also things that were available in black neighborhoods, as far as programs for going to college, for getting jobs, all of that kind of stuff. And they kicked it off during Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and they play games, dedicated to that cause on the King holiday. Okay, so, and they recognize the problems and the issues that are going on within the African American, black, American descendants of slaves, whatever, all the terminology, what black folks are going through in this country. And the fact of the matter that black people make up a large amount of the fans of the National Basketball Association, and blacks make up a lot of the players in the National Basketball Association, the majority of the players, just like in football. So why is the NFL taking such a hard line against Colin Kaepernick? Why? It doesn't make any sense. As a matter of fact, it would look better. It would be a better PR move if somebody signed him. And it would eliminate the collusion. That would eliminate the lawsuit instead of trying to trick him into signing some release form. The way to avoid the lawsuit is hire him. If you hire him, he can't claim collusion. Why? Because somebody hired him. He got a job. Y'all, the NFL, y'all not that smart. Even though y'all got a lot of money, y'all just got a lot of money because y'all got control of industries and stuff like that. But not because y'all real smart. Trust and believe that. Y'all not real smart. And y'all ain't really even got the smartest lawyers. The way to get rid of the collusion is and to save face, and y'all really don't have good PR people. This could all be done away with. It can all go away. Hire Kaepernick, right? And set up some type of program against police brutality. That's what you should have done. But no, y'all sit up there. I'm serious. They just sat up there and they play hardball. They're playing hardball over an issue that is sensitive to everybody. And they're losing. There are organizations that have white folks that is their target fan base that don't watch the NFL anymore. Because when I hashtag boycott NFL, you can hashtag it too. Hashtag boycott NFL, and you'll see a number of white groups that are also boycotting the NFL. So this is just a blunder, a complete blunder. And then for them to let Trump, Trump is an idiot. Like I said before, he's an idiot. He doesn't even realize that the issue has nothing to do with being patriotic. And the NFL should realize it has nothing to do with being patriotic. It has nothing to do with whether or not we love America or we love the flag. And we keep on telling y'all it was a white Army veteran that suggested the protest. A white Army veteran, not a black man, a white man suggested that Kaepernick do this protest. A white veteran. And I wish I could call his name. I can't call his name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I'm just trying to tell you, NFL, you have made a major mistake. You made a blunder. And like I said, and if black people wasn't so into all of this cognitive dissonance, they would, like I said, I'm not watching no more NFL. I love the NFL. Don't get me wrong. I love my home team, the Detroit Lions. I love them. But guess what? I will never watch another game. I'm sorry. Until y'all straighten this out and make this right. What's that old After Seven song? Until you do me right, ain't nothing good gonna happen to you. It's one of those type of deals. This is an insult. And if y'all recall, and look, the NFL has always been racist. Remember, they were going to take the Super Bowl away from Atlanta because Georgia refused to take down the Confederate flag, and they stood behind that for years. They stood behind the Confederate flag for years. So this is bigger. This is bigger than Kaepernick or anything that he could have said or anything that he could have done. Even if he was saying stuff, or even if he did wear a Kunta Kinte shirt or whatever, people say, well, he shouldn't have wore that Kunta Kinte shirt because he made everybody upset. That ain't start this. That ain't start none of this. What started this was that the NFL does not care. You can put Kanye West in here. The NFL don't care about black people. And they don't care about your money. They do not. That's why you should boycott them. That's why you shouldn't go to the games, and you shouldn't watch the games, and you shouldn't buy the products that are advertised on the games. You should not be watching Fox or Fox Sports. None of that, because they use the money to persecute you. They use the money to persecute you. That's what they're using it for. And with this whole thing with Stephen A is a hired monkey. That's what he is. He is a hired propaganda man. He gets $8 million a year, y'all. He got to say what the white man want him to say. Y'all don't get it. He got to say what the white man tells him to say, because the white man gave him $8 million to say it. He's bought. He's a bought man. Bought, receipts, delivered, everything. So we could be, and I'm mad at him because, to me, this is one of those situations where, how your grandma used to say, if you don't have something nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. Your grandma never said that to you. Well, look, let me tell you something. If you ain't in a situation like this, especially when it affects millions of people and it affects the lives of African Americans and the descendants of African and the descendants of slaves and all that, when it affects everybody like this issue does, this is police brutality. Police brutality. I cannot say it enough. This is about police brutality and people murdering black people at will. The police, the overseers that they put on the streets with guns and knives and whatever else, and tasers and everything else, they are killing black people. That's what they're doing, and that's what this is about. This ain't got nothing to do with football. It really doesn't. It's got to do with the fact that the NFL owners, they go along with the program that the police are running. They go along with shooting black folks, in the back. They go along with pulling somebody over for a minor traffic stop and then they end up in the morgue. They go along with all of this stuff when somebody shows their hands and they pull the trigger anyway. They go along with looking in somebody's window, not announcing you the police, and shooting through the window and killing somebody. They go along with this stuff. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. This ain't got nothing to do with what Kaepernick did. This got to do with the fact that the white supremacists in this country support police brutality against us. That's all it is. And it's no different from the same stuff that was being talked about when the Black Panther Party was started. The Black Panthers were not criminals. They were not terrorists. They were not doing anything. They were trying to take care of their own. That's all. They were policing the black community. They were feeding black children. They were educating black children. They were trying to do for self. All right. So it ain't got nothing to do. And anybody that sits up there and tries to defend, Stephen A. or any of these other hired monkeys, it doesn't. And that's how come when Max Kellerman came out and he said what he said, that's why everybody cheered, So all the bandwagon jumping and this, that, and the other thing, the bottom line is it's about police brutality. And it always has been since Jim Crow. That's all it's about. It's about police brutality. These killings that keep on taking place, these are just like lynchings. These are modern, all they are is modern day lynchings. We show it as propaganda. We show you a lynching on TV and we make a big deal out of this lynching, and it'll keep the rest of y'all in line. Think about it. And as time and as look, and it started to escalate in the media, especially like right at the end of Barack Obama's right at the end of Barack Obama's presidency, and it continued, on through up until Trump, right? And we started, because that's when we started seeing the majority of these killings. And there's always one going down every couple of months. There's one going down, and that's so that it's just like it's modern day lynching. We take one boy, we lynch him in front of the whole plantation. The plantation sees it, and it affects your psyche. That's all it is. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the off button on NFL.